Hey, Gilad. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Thank you for being on the first edition of The Lens for 2026. And I just want to thank you again for all the amazing support that you've given the Virtuoso Network, the members, the partners, everybody for all these years, and very specifically, the amazing job that you've done with the Virtuoso Tech Summit at Virtuoso Travel Week. I'm not sure that everybody realizes that last year we broke over 600 people. I mean, and think about that. 600 people is the amount of people that the full Virtuoso Travel Week was when we first went to the Bellagio in 2000. That Tech Summit has become the place where all the companies from Microsoft to Deloitte to all these people all have come to focus and celebrate around technology that amplifies human connections.
Yeah.
Maybe talk a little bit about this year and some of what you see coming for 2026.
I am just so proud, like you said, of what we've built in just a few years with the Tech Summit and with generally the level of sophistication and thoughtfulness around technology we've seen across the network. Now, the biggest news we can share today is that our Tech Summit is moving to Sunday. And we are so excited to have all of you there joining us without all the competition. There's just so much to do at Travel Week. We're really honored and excited that we were able to move it to Sunday morning. And one of the things we did last year that we were just so thrilled about was we created this exchange concept where we let members and partners and technologists sit together in tables and really share knowledge and ideas for the future. And that was such a success that we were going to build on that and do a lot more of that this year. I promised the team I wouldn't give everything away, but we have a lot of exciting things coming, and we're so thrilled that it's going to be on Sunday morning.
You say that people should think about AI almost like the way we thought about the internet back in 97, 98, and think about what's happening with AI is not just as an epoch, just like that epoch was. How is it helpful to think about AI in an epoch?
When the World Wide Web and the internet really launched, all of us in business, in social, in education, in government had to begin to rethink our mental models about the way we approach the world, the way we build, the way we share, the way the future is going to unfold. And the reason I think of it as a new epoch for AI is that this is not just a new chapter or slightly, some innovation on the last chapter that we've been living through. It's something brand new. And it requires all of us to think about this anew, to come up with new mental models for how do we want to evolve our businesses and how do we evolve our lives. The thing that's really exciting about this, a new epoch, it means that anyone who feels like maybe they were behind on the last technology epoch is no longer behind. We're all in the exact same place together, learning for the future together. And the thing that makes me most excited for all of us in the Virtuoso Network is this new epoch is one where the technology will begin to melt away into the background in order for us, the humans, the human connection, human creativity, to take center stage. It gives everyone an opportunity anew to reimagine their business, to reimagine their life, and we're all starting at the same place, so no one's behind. I think that's really exciting.
It reminds you to think about what your strengths are, because a lot of times you have this anxiety, I'm behind, I'm this, I'm that, whatever.
Yeah.
Can you really be behind?
For the last decade, lots of people in our network and elsewhere in the industry came to me and said, I don't have as many engineers as Marriott, or I'm not as sophisticated technology as Expedia. And the thing I'm so excited about is that this advantage is largely gone. We're no longer limited by the number of engineers on our team or the number of people on PhDs on our executive staff, but really we're limited by our creativity and by our imagination and by the things that we can do with our clients and our partners.
Some of our members and others will say, why doesn't Virtuoso simply provide a single unified platform? Why do you believe that approach or the concept of a singular unified platform doesn't really work for an established human-centric organization?
I'll begin by just saying that our diversity is our strength. The diversity of our members, diversity of our advisors, diversity of our partners and travelers, and the idea that we would take everyone in the world that wants to do business in the way we do business, that believes what we believe, and say, you have to do it in one way, seems to me like the opposite of human connection, human creativity, human judgment. Now, the thing that's really exciting for me is that using agentic AI, we can have a little bit of both. Because of course, one thing at the core of the Virtuoso network is knowledge sharing, is co-creation, is collaboration. And agentic AI gives us the best of both. Systems that we can each adopt for our advisors, for our agencies, for ourselves, that work for us, for our clients, where we want to work, but to still do all that beautiful data sharing, knowledge sharing, collaboration that comes from the network. So that's what's exciting. We no longer have to force people to use one CRM or one database or one email system to benefit from the knowledge of the crowd. I think that's a really exciting future.
And I think that goes to this whole idea about what does a unified platform even look like? Building an AI agent is like having a baby. You have to decide what you're going to feed it.
Absolutely.
And actually, what you don't feed it is as important as what you do feed it.
And this is why when we hear people from the network saying they use ChatGPT or one of the open models to plan a trip, they're often quite disappointed with what they're getting out of it. And that's because it's been fed on anything on the web. And we know there's a lot of junk food that's out there on the web. And this is our opportunity as a network to work with our members, our partners, etc., to build our own knowledge base about the way that we do travel. And that's a type of thing where we can, again, collaborate together as a network without losing the individuality and the uniqueness of each of our advisors.
Well, now, one of the things I know you say is that one of the primary focuses of the use of AI is to make, advisors look like heroes, et cetera. And that makes sense, but how do you do that?
What we want to do is we want to elevate the things that our people do that are unique. This is the human connection, this is the judgment, this is the creativity. And we want to use AI to enable them to do as much of that as possible. AI can help advisors keep track of all the information and all the tasks and all the to-dos they have to do in order for them to be able to take better care of their customers, to actually talk to them directly. You can use AI to bring ideas and recommendations from conversations you had with your clients years and years ago, and remember those little things they mentioned and to piece them together with new information, new partners, to come up with new initiatives and new ideas. So ultimately what we want to do is we want to make sure that the advisor can do the things that are the advisor's uniquely good at, and to have AI do all the other things that are necessary and important, but are not adding to that human connection.
When people say don't use AI like you're using like a Google search, right? Speak to it more like a partner, build it.
Yeah, imagine if each of us could have as many assistants as we want. Or when I speak to our hotel partners, I say, imagine if you could have an infinite staff and you could station them anywhere you want within the property, within the guest experience. What would you do? And this is a really powerful unlock that allows us to do a lot more for our guests. You'd be able to collect more information. You'd be able to be there in more places for the traveler and for the customer. So think, how would I extend myself if I had an assistant or many assistants doing research, getting recommendation, getting other ideas? One of the things I love from some of our top agencies is they will send music or recipes or other things to their guests to really elevate that wonderful feeling before and after a trip. But of course, you talk to an advisor, they're busy. They've got a book of business they have to manage. These are the ways to extend yourself in ways that make you and the experience of your customer more human, more personal, more elevated, not just the way you do a better search. I think that's a really exciting opportunity.
You have been beating the drum for quite some time now, saying, hey, folks, relax. Technological advantage by itself is actually shrinking. Talk about why, and is shorter lived.
So it used to be that it was very hard and very expensive to build and deploy technology. And because of that, the people who deployed good technology had these moats, had these protective layers that protected them often for decades. As technology gets cheaper and easier to build and deploy, the length of time and the protective nature of these technologies continues to shrink. And for those of us who have felt for the last decade that we were at a technology disadvantage, this should be an incredibly exciting development. These moats are shrinking, and that means that other moats, non-technology moats, are increasing in their power and their protective force. Things like relationship with your clients, things like trust from your supply partners, things like human knowledge that have been developed over a career worth of experience. These moats are becoming much more important because the technology moats continue to shrink. The other thing is all of us are getting significantly more access to technology, both from large companies, like you said, are integrating AI and other cool technologies into it, things like HubSpot or Salesforce or other tools like that. Also, over the last decade, we've seen a lot of startups become interested in our space and building technology to elevate human connection, not to replace human connection. And the last addition to this is the ability for almost any business to build technology in-house using AI tools and no-code solutions. Now, again, I'm not trying to say that it's so easy that anyone can do it today, but whatever challenge exists today will get easier every month for the coming years. So a lot of businesses say, I tried to build an app a few months ago, it didn't work. And I say, good for you for trying. You should try again today, and you should definitely try again 6 months from now, because that advantage accrues to you.
Digging into what does it mean to humanize exceptional as AI takes off? And I know you agree with that, but how would you kind of put it?
The first and most important thing is we should lean in to what we're already best at. We have already spent our entire careers learning how to connect with our clients, with our partners, how to be human. That is the most important skill and advantage that we have moving into the future. You know, as I always say on stage, in the world of ubiquitous AI, the human connection is the best differentiator. There's few things in this world I believe more than I believe that. Now, of course, for anyone who was with us last year at Travel Week, Will Guidara was there. And the thing that was so incredible for me is Will and I got to do back-to-back presentations on Monday morning. And he was about the hospitality and the human touch, and I was about the AI. And Will thought that we're going to come with very different perspectives. And in reality, both of us were actually surprised at how incredibly overlapped, and how incredibly connected the AI vision that we are bringing to the table is with Will's vision about unreasonable hospitality and the way we should be servicing people. So I would really think about, how do you go above and beyond? How do we take those things that Will talked about and taught us last year, and how do we use AI and automation to provide more of those experiences for more of our travelers more of the time? I think that's a vision we can all be really excited about.
One of the last questions is, what are 3 things people should do now?
The very basic is you need to have AI open on your desk all day. When you show up in the morning, you'll probably open your email, maybe your itinerary tool, maybe your booking platform. You should also be opening an AI solution. And it's whatever works for you. People sometimes ask me, which one do you like? And I'm happy to share. But like with any tool, it's about the person having a tool that really works for them. So whether it's OpenAI or Gemini or Anthropic or whatever, you should test multiple tools and find the one that really works for you. So number 1 is have it open. That's how you're going to find more and more opportunities to use it. And that's how you'll continue to build your own knowledge and your own comfort level with using this technology. Number 2 is use it for some sort of a data mining or data sharing capability. So one small example is you could train your own AI assistant inside any of these tools called custom GPT or whatever, where you simply put in requests and information you got from your customers and clients in the past, and the recommendations and things that you booked for them based on those recommendations. This becomes an easy input-output relationship. And over time, you're gonna have an AI that gets to know your brain, your recommendation, your preferences, and can help you be a superpower so you can serve more customers faster and in kind of a better way. And then lastly is think about how you can extend yourself. Doing things that you've always wanted to do, but there just isn't time in the day as you're servicing your clients to do. Maybe ideation for future trips. I'm a foodie, so I'm always thinking about food, right? It might be recipes or things in the country that allow me to extend that wonderful feeling we have when we get back from the trip. But think about it. What is it that you've always wanted to do and just has never been time to? That's the best thing to use AI for at this point.
We're super excited that we're going to have you at Virtuoso Symposium in Seoul. Any little hints about what we might be hearing?
At the end of the day, at Symposium, we have executives and owners and leaders from across the network. And we're going to be spending a lot of time thinking about, as a CEO, as a business owner, how do you think about the future of your business? How do you think about the way that AI is changing management structures and management philosophies to make your business not just resilient, but make sure that you thrive into the future? I believe that any business is focused on human connection, and these experiences like travel, like connecting with friends and family, are going to be some of the most resilient and desirable businesses in the future. But it doesn't mean we don't have to work to make sure that our businesses are ready for the future. So that's what we'll focus on.
And I know that you wrote an incredible article, post that we're going to attach here to the email about why you're so bullish about travel and hospitality. And
Absolutely.
thank you for your time. Thank you for everything you've done for all of us for so many years. You're always being so generous with your availability. So have a great rest of the month, and definitely can't wait to see you in Seoul.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Take care.